Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
U.S. Army builds fake city in Virginia to practice military occupation. That story's up on Infowars.com. It's the middle column of DrudgeReport.com as well. Martial law training, 300-acre town includes sports stadium, school, underground subway. The U.S. Army has built a 300-acre fake city, complete with sports stadium, school, and underground subway in order to train for unspecified future combat scenarios. The recently opened site is located in Virginia and was built at a cost of $96 million, taking just 2 years to complete. While the city was ostensibly built to prepare U.S. troops for occupation of cities abroad, some will undoubtedly fear the real intention will be closer to home. Although the site includes a mosque, the town looks like an American city in every other way, with the signs in English. The fact that a Telegraph reports the subway carriages even carry the same logo as the carriages in Washington, D.C., could suggest the site was built to both double as a foreign city and as a mock domestic town. Well, the whole military's training is their main mission, domestic, so, and their enemy being the Tea Party. So, according to Colonel John P. Petkoski, this is the place where we can create, where we can come up with solutions for problems we don't know we have yet. This is where we'll look at solutions for the future, material solutions and non-material solutions, anything from how you're going to operate in a subterranean environment to how you dismount a Humvee to avoid IED strike. The increasing demonization of domestic political groups as extremists has prompted numerous scenarios where commentators have suggested the U.S. Army and National Guard personnel could be needed to quell civil unrest. This is a very, quote, fairly written article by Paul. I'm not criticizing our writer, but to the point of almost absconding with the truth. This is all for domestic operations with a separate dual training operation internationally. The whole thing is geared up for us domestically. The bullets, the training, the manuals, that's official National Guard announcements, quote, preparing to crush a Tea Party rebellion, and then the gun owners are going to attack and all this. In a 2012 academic study about the future use of military as a peacekeeping force within the United States, written by a retired Army colonel, depicted a shocking scenario in which U.S. Army is used to restore order in a town that's been seized by Tea Party insurrectionists, close quote. The study dovetailed a leaked U.S. Army manual, which revealed plans for the military to carry out civil disturbance operations, including confiscating firearms, quelling riots, mass civil unrest, and, quote, how we would be re-educated. This is on the Army's website, folks. I'm not making this up. They even used the Soviet term. So it's a good article. He gets into all the meat at the end, and I guess it's very journalistic. He writes it as if it could be two different things, but we know what it is. So at a certain point, it's like there's this modern journalistic thing where you don't say, it's like a red fire engine pulls up and you go, the fireman claimed it was a red Ford fire truck they were driving. And it said Ford on it, and it was red. And it had chrome all over it, and there was a Dalmatian sitting in the back. And then I watched it turn on its sirens and drive down the road and spray water on stuff. I mean, it's just Army times everything, 24/7. Yes, Brigade Homeland. Yeah, we're going to take your guns. You know, when they confiscated guns in New Orleans for like 2 weeks, people didn't believe me when I was on air playing local newscast. Now everybody knows that happened, but the issue is there's this denial right up front that has to stop. And I'm not criticizing Watson. I don't have time to call up and give him pointers, when I'm off air. Not that I have all the answers. He gives me a lot of pointers as well. It's just that, all of us just, this is what is happening, myself included. The tyranny is so naked now that we've almost got tyranny fatigue, where we're just so used to it now that we're like, well, we guessed it could be for some good uses. Obviously, they need to know how to dismount a Humvee for IED attack, or how to land a helicopter in an area where it doesn't have IEDs. Don't land where it's a good landing spot. That's the rule. Land 100 yards away randomly. Land where it's hard to land. But you don't do that in a mock city in English with Washington, D.C. signs. while you're training for domestic war in all your manuals, and then you say, oh, no, it's not for domestic. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gate, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filter today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. The globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com.
Rallying patriots worldwide in defense of human liberty. It's Alex Jones.
Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields of bodies burning.
Spike in my veins. Jonathan Davis is the lead singer of Korn, one of the big rock bands out there. And we saw the video, thought it was really great. Listeners sent it to us, and they said, man, it looks like they're awake to what's going on, dealing with the paradigm shift. And we contacted them, and it turns out they are familiar with our work, and we're happy to come on. So we're going to get the lead singer on. He'd be on right now, but it happens all the time. We're having Skype issues back and forth. So it could be in 5 minutes, it could be in bottom of the hour, it could be next week. So we're going back and forth with that right now with Skype issues. But that is coming up. In fact, let's play a little bit of the music video for radio listeners / TV viewers who are watching on prisonplanet.tv. We'll play the whole thing once he joins us, but here it is.
The NSA
secretly tracks telephone and data on the internet. PRISM program.
We have reached a tipping point here. Congressman, let me interrupt you. Justin Bieber has been arrested on a number of charges. The judge...
We are the ones taking all the pain, falling on our
music. Folks, this is extremely powerful and a big deal because this is a frontal assault on their main vehicle, Obama. And that doesn't mean the Republican leadership is good either. John Boehner and all them are just as bad or worse. The issue is that Obama's been a very effective evil, like Cynthia McKinney has said on the show. He's not a lesser of two evils. He's a more effective of evils. And because it makes it trendy to do all this evil. And the video is just amazing how it exposes the just anti-human, pro-evil garbage that's being sold as a wonderful thing. So that's coming up as soon as we get his and our Skype working together. That happens sometimes. Right now, let's go to Trey in Alabama. And we'll go to Mike and Brenda and everybody else. Trey, thanks for holding her on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Alex?
Worldwide broadcast. Good to have you on.
I wanted to talk about the bankers, the elite bankers that have, like, basically thrown themselves off buildings the past, I think it was last week. You've had, like...
Yeah, it's 5 top ones the last 2 weeks and dozens of other mid-level ones. I think they're being killed, but what do you think?
Personally, I don't know if it has to do with they know something that's coming that we don't, or they found something out, or it's like in 29, you know, or the stock market crash that happened before that, you know. Bankers were throwing themselves off buildings because...
See, I could lose everything I've got, and I would be happy. I don't understand people that commit suicide because they lose everything. I just don't get that. I mean, these guys aren't losing everything yet, though. That was the mid-level folks in 29. And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm trying to war game this out here. It was the people that lost everything and were in debt who committed suicide over the embarrassment. It wasn't the insiders who got even richer. I think they're getting rid of people that know where the bodies are buried.
Yeah, possibly. Could it have any connection to the global reset that everyone's talking about that could be coming up? Because nobody wants our dollar anymore, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, but if these guys have millions or billions of dollars, why don't they just tap out, get out, move to Switzerland like everybody else does?
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for what you're saying.
Well, it's like Matt Drudge said 2 weeks ago in the corporatist media, the dinosaur media, literally on its last leg said, oh, look, he's implying you should leave as if we're in a tyranny. Let them eat cake. And it just shows how out of touch they are. Anybody who studies basic history knows we are sitting on top of a powder keg with about 100 burning sparklers falling from the sky right now. And I don't know when it's going to blow up or how it's going to blow up, but it's a question of not if, but when. Anything else?
Well, see, you got that thing that we got to keep our eyes on that Lindsey Graham said when the news came up missing. That's one thing that has me very worried. I think he came out too early. That was going to be their little, you know, announcement, wink, wink, before they do something about blowing up, you know, Charleston or New York. You know, you remember Lindsey Graham's statement, or do you remember that? Oh,
yeah, I remember in CBS News at a press conference hours after we reported the missing nuclear weapons.
Yeah, and see, I don't know, like the people say, you know, Iran has the ships out in close to our waters or whatever. It would just be really convenient for an American city to get nuked to draw us into Iran, or to, hell, I mean, like 9/11, we could pretty much attack anybody we wanted. It gave us...
Exactly. I mean, I don't think the head of the Iranian military is stupid enough to actually say the U.S. doesn't know we have sleeper cells in North America, and they don't know how we're going to strike back against them, and then send over some small destroyers as if that means anything. I mean, just begging the empire to destroy them and take our liberties at the same time. And then some listeners think I'm like calling for war with Iran. No, I'm calling for Iran. What do you think Iran's up to?
It doesn't make sense to me because we got nothing out of the deal. I mean, with them, it appears, and it just, I don't know, I'm clueless. I'm puzzled.
Yeah.